Hello, Richard the Coughlin, 000, how are you? Well, it seemed my video yesterday, quite rightly titled Britain Pwns America, attracted the attention of some yacky doodle daddies. I'm going to call them yakkies now, because you know what? It's English. English, right? You speak English, right? You don't speak American, do you? Because you don't spell, you gave up spelling words. That's where the educational system in America started failing. You took one fucking dictionary with you, and you clearly got it wet on the way there, and half the letters fell out, which is why you can't spell things properly, and you're all stupid. The three main videos I'm going to respond to were from what I like to call the Triumvirate of Epic Fail: Skeptical Heretic, Rith Randell, and Edible Napalm, who I shall be looking at in a parallel to Skeptical Heretic is at the top. He is Pat Condell. He will be called the Condelical Heretic. Next one down is Rith. He is called Brett Randell from the town because he's Brett Keane. And of course, Edible Napalm is of course J-Dub or J-Double Napalm. It's a fair comparison, Matt. You're both fat. You swear far too much. Yeah, that's it really. So let's go through this from some point here. So let's start at the bottom. Napalm, a man who's clearly a product of the education system, can't use his editing equipment because he can't see very well. And you know, he would, if he was in this country, he would be able to use the National Health Service, and he'd be able to get surgery to get his eyes fixed, and it would be okay because it would have been paid for with tax money. But he can't. He's in America, and no one cares about him over there because you think the second you start spending tax money on the poor, you might as well just start chucking people in gulags over there, because to you the word socialism is AIDS over there. And Napalm just did 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Who knows? Captain fucking Caveman, Banana Tits, fucking Bang Doodle, Spastic Face, Rubber Turnip, Anus, Octopus, Fish, whatever the fuck you want. You called me a Brett Keane loving bigot. Really? I'm not the one, Edible Napalm. I'm not the one who dedicated every video I made for the last 2 weeks. I mean, even said I was going to make a channel dedicated to pwning Brett Keane. Let me tell you something. Going from Brett Keane to me, that's like stepping on ants all day, and then wanting to have a fight with Vladimir Klitschko, motherfucker. You get that? So don't call me Brett Keane loving bigot. You're the one who's obsessed with the pathetic loser. That's you. And you call me a Brett Keane loving bigot? Brett Keane is a good enough argument as it was. I mean, the Condelical Heretic, he tried to bring up Pat Condell as an example. Do I need to even go into... You know what? Pat Condell might be like a figurehead worshipped by the EDL, but you know what? In comparison to the Tea Party in America, they wouldn't be able to fill out the Washington DC green area. They wouldn't be able to fill that out. They wouldn't be able to fill out stadiums like you do in America. And it's not just because you've got more people, right? It's because you've got more idiots. That's what you've got, right? Pat Condell. Yeah, Pat Condell was good. We are Pat Condell. I never said we were perfect. I just said we're better than you. And remember, Thunderfoot. We had Thunderfoot. Then he went to America, right? That brought it down a bit. So consider that, right? And I'll tell you what, the way Pat Condell's going, he will bugger off to America soon. Because soon he won't be able to get a gig anywhere but on the Alex Jones show, right? Or Glenn Beck's radio. That's the way he's going, mate. He'll be on the 700 Club before you know it. And you have the 700 Club. We don't have that. Our religious programming is put on the arse end of the satellite TV, right? And no one watches it, and it's all American anyway, right? So who cares? And you brought up India. We left India because a skinny guy didn't want to eat. Let's talk about India, right? India, 1/6 of the world's population, right? We owned it, right? We owned it. We took it over in one afternoon with 2 blokes on a penny farthing push bike. Right? Went over there, moustaches, monocles, top hats, right? Big bellies. That was it. We just showed up and said, "Oi, we're in charge now." Right? They went, "Pardon me? No, shut up. Shush. We're running this." Right? And they said, "You shouldn't. Carry on. We fucking know it." That was it. Done. Right? Look at you lot. You've got the biggest military power in the world. You can't even take over the Middle East properly. Your strategy seems to be, let's go over there, kill everyone, and then we'll take it over. And you can't even do that. You forget that. You couldn't take over India, right? And yes, when the Indians when they got a bit narky, we gave them a good old bloody kicking, right? Like you do. And yes, we left. Do you know why? Right? Because deep down, we have this thing in Britain called fair play. We have the British sense of fair play, right? When we're playing football, right, which is a game you play with your feet on a ball, right, when we're playing that, it's not a load of people, it's not a load of drugged up, steroid-induced monkeys, you know, dressed up as Robocop headbutting each other, right? When we play football, right, if we're playing someone who's not very good, we'll make the goal bigger, right? British sense of fair play, right? America is win by any means necessary, which might be good for winning. But we don't care, because some of our best moments in this country have been failures. And it's good, because failure is character building, which is why we're interesting and you're not. So shut up. Brett Randell, you talk about, you first of all, you're wearing a top, very clever, and you want to go on about my spelling, because I misspelled, I typoed the word Yankee, and I put Yaki, right? Let me just tell you something about Riff Randell, right? He voted for George Bush. Consider that, right? He's criticising my spelling, and he voted for George Bush. You know, our politicians might be useless, warmongering, lying bastards, but you know what? At least they sound like they know what they're talking about, right? At least they try. And people go on about, oh, America, Britain is just America's poodle. Britain is just America's little dog. Yeah, do you know what? The relationship we have, the dog-master relationship we have with America, is very similar to the one that Inspector Gadget had with his dog. And he wouldn't have solved fuck all if he weren't there. He needed him there to point him in the right direction. What on a friendly fire, right? This war, this little weird thing where, you know, where two sides, where the, you know, Americans like to sort of occasionally bomb. We don't do that. We don't hit Americans. But do you know why? Because we know the difference between an Arab Taliban member and an American soldier, right? We've been trained. It's one of the first things we have. We hire people who can tell the difference, right? Friendship, it's not friendly fire. Friendship is a two-way sodding thing. And you want to talk about Marmite? You want to talk about Marmite, Riff? Marmite? Really? Right, at least Marmite has honest advertising. It says you either love it or you hate it, right? Let me tell you something. This is a comparison, right? Anyone in Britain who's ever had one of these, right? It's a Hershey chocolate bar, right? It is marketed, it's in all American films and TV. The Hershey bar, the world-famous Hershey bar, and it tastes like a pile of anus. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like the scrapings from a donkey's hemorrhoid, and anyone who's eaten one of these has been racked with disappointment. It's awful. It's not even awful in a way that's interesting, it's just plain bad. It's like they took the sweepings from the fucking Cadbury's factory and mixed them up with a load of rat shit and put it together, and you got the Hershey bar. At least the food we eat that's bad for you is food. Not in America where you just find a load of asbestos, roll it up in a load of crap, and then deep fry it. So, I think we've honestly gone the line here. It was interesting. You all failed, obviously, and the reason you failed is because you didn't have me and D-Land and Cole telling you what to say, right? Telling you what to think, like we always do. You know that, right? Let's not pretend that we don't pull the strings around here. Cole ain't there, I'm not there, you lot flounder around. Good luck. You're going to need it. You Tweet and Gal get together, conspire behind. Martin J. Willett was right about you lot. You're just a bunch of haters and trolls. Right? I win this round. That's the British way. We declare victory, and then we leave. Richard Dick Coughlin, 000. Good night, mate. God bless.